When I first saw him, actually, it was down at Palmerston North. It looked like a fat little fella with no real leg.
Big horse, but a good mover. Any trainer would be rapt to have him.
And I remember talking to the owners and we just laughed about him. He's an unusual looking yearling. Then he came in, always showed plenty. He's actually vetted for Hong Kong as a young horse, but the sale fell through. You know, last 12 months he's really, he's got it all together and he's starting to become a real horse. He just eats, sleeps, works, and nothing worries him at all. We haven't spared him with the racing. He just keeps stepping up. We always trot him up after a race and always say he looks as good on the Monday as he did on the Friday before he races. It was difficult at the start. I remember, we even came out here on the synthetic track. I think it was a maiden 1300, and just pulled himself into the ground, and it got quite frustrating. He started favourite in an open sprint. He's won an open sprint.
Vencedor is going to break through at start 3 for the win.
He just had to chill himself back. He raced in, as you can see, racing air covers now, but just maturity was the big thing. And now, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He can lead at a mile, he can lead at 2,000, he can take a sit. He's just so adaptable now. His real great form has been at Ellerslie because it's such a good track and he loves a great surface. But he probably, his first 5 or 6 runs in a campaign, he sort of also runs almost. We took him to Australia at 3, and he kicked off in a 3-year-old 1200. I remember James McDonald rode. He pulled himself into the ground, and by the end of the carnival, he won a race and came home. And that might have been the turning point of him. But yeah, look, they've been good, patient owners, and they've always sort of let the horse come first. And I think rewarding now for them. They're certainly getting repaid now.
Legato's been called upon. She's slowly getting there. Then Skyman and Aquicade. Vencedor. Could this be the upset of the century? Legato can't pick up Vencedor. And Joe Doyle have won the Bone Crusher New Zealand Stakes.
Beating Legato at Ellerslie last year, and then this year he's just been pretty much faultless. Once we've got him up to fit and ready, he's been awfully hard to beat, as you can see. To see him turn into a proper racehorse has been very rewarding. I mean, winning 3 Group 1s in a month and basically unbeaten in the last 4, it has been amazing. 3 Group 1s on the trot. I used to go to the races and you sort of dream about having a horse like that, and now we've got one. It's just for myself and the whole stable, it's extremely rewarding.
Vencedor with 100 to go. Shut the gate. Vencedor. He's got another Group 1 at Ellerslie. Vencedor just got there.
Very exciting going to the world stage of Hong Kong. Obviously watch a lot of Hong Kong races. You'd never sort of dream about going, but Greg Carpenter called and said, if we're invited, would we go? Well, Oz a definite yes, and spoke to Mark and David, and they were definitely on board as well. And it probably just fits in with him really good. He'd usually go out for a solid spell after the Bone Crusher, and then he takes about 6 runs to get back to form. At least this way, he's running late April, comes back, he can have a bit of a break, and then he's sort of back for that second part of the spring. I was happy Romantic Warrior wasn't turning up. I mean, he's an absolute freak. It's hard, I've seen the nominations, they're sort of nominated from everywhere, obviously the Japanese are always hard. But yeah, look, watchful eye, it's hard to know how the field's going to fully assemble. We're very fortunate to have secured Zach Purton to ride. He's an absolute legend. He's the king of Hong Kong, isn't he? So great to have him on board, and yeah, things are all falling into place for us. Basically in our stable, we've got a decent sized stable. If you had to pick one that would settle in and acclimatise and, of that way of going, it would be him. He's not too fussed about anything, and look, I couldn't see him being worried at all about it. Lucky enough, Emma, who's taken him over, gets to travel in the plane with him on the way over. She's been to Hong Kong a few times, quite a few times actually. I've never been, so it's nice that, you know, it's quite, makes me a little bit easier about, you know, going over there, that, you know, she knows the run of the show and all that, and I think that's pretty important, you know, all about the tracks, the facilities, the way they do everything. So yep, she flies over the horse, gets him settled in, and I'll be over there soon after.
I first met Vencedor when he was a yearling and he came in from the breakers, and I still remember him coming in, and he's always been a legend. He's been brilliant to do everything with. I think we've always had a lot of belief in him, and so have the owners. I think Stephen promised them pretty early on that he was going to be the best horse they'd had, and I think he has been, turned out to be now, so that's really cool. But yeah, it has definitely just been a progression, and especially since his manners have improved and he's got older and more mature and stepped up over ground, it's just gone from strength to strength, and hopefully keeps going into Hong Kong.
You know, he was our Vencedor, now he's known as EV, which is cool. He's got a real following now, and it's funny. I mean, the stable's, you know, pretty pumped about it. He's the first horse we've certainly had in this league. We're lucky enough we've got some really nice horses, but he's sort of gone to the next level. And I think, you know, with you know, supporters, owners, and you know, there's even a few people that have booked their trip and getting on the bandwagon. So yeah, it's really cool. It's pretty humbling for people to get behind us and the horse so much. And look, it's going to be just an unbelievable experience for all, you know, all of us to take a horse over there, owners, us, stable. It's, you know, it's certainly the first for us. It'll be a good test getting them up to Hong Kong. We'll know where we sit on the world stage, but look, we've certainly got all options open. We could, there's going to be another Australian trip in him if he keeps racing as good as he is, and whether that's, you know, that could very well be Melbourne. Well, I think with him, with the sale falling through, we spoke about it, and even though it was good money, I think when we look back, even not long afterwards, the owners were quite relieved not to lose the horse, and probably so was I. And looking back now, geez, how lucky we are the sale did fall through. But you know, we have had to keep the belief in him. He has been up and down, bit in and out, but now he's repaying us and repaying us greatly.